I'm sorry, let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports, episode number 91, with your host with most, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world, brain of the franchise, Buck. We are going to gateway and segue and everything in between way into all things Kansas City sports. We're going to be talking about the Royals. We're going to be talking about how the draft went for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to be talking about Soccer Nation, such as Sporting KC and KC Current, as well as I am going to have a guest with me, Jess from Shin Guards and Shenanigans, Shin Pads and Shenanigans, excuse me. And then we are going to be talking about how the women are doing in the professional world of soccer, such as Sporting KC, as in KC Current. We're going to be talking about Sporting KC. We're talking about all that jazz. But first and foremost, if I can get my tongue to quit tying the knot right here, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Order at planetjerky.net, as well as go to the gram at Planet Jerky. Seal the Deal Wax Seals over on the gram. Seal the Deal _wax stamps. But you can order at iesportsradio.com/seal the deal wax seals, as well as IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. We talked about the socials. Let's go ahead and talk about the socials. Follow us on the Twitter, the Gram, the Boogie Face, TikTok, YouTube at IE Sports Radio, sportsradio.com. iesportsradio.com/this is KC Sports is where you can find me. We are YouTube exclusive. We're no longer doing audio. This is all visual, no longer listening. So find us on YouTube, find IE Sports Radio, scroll on down until you see This is KC Sports. This is episode number 91, and then you will find me. Also, you can go to our socials. This is KC_IESR, as well as my personal @Real Franchise. I love interacting with everybody, all of that good noise. I love it, love it, love it. It makes the show even more fun. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to bring Jess with IESR onto the show, as well as we're going to be talking everything sports. And sit tight. We'll be right back. Don't move. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go. For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Brandon the Franchise Buck here in Kansas City. It is 78 degrees. It is overcasted. It is all done. Get out. I thought it was raining earlier this morning. It is not. It is just humid. It's sticky a little bit, and it feels great. Feels great for somebody who's been banged up all of his life through athletics and professional wrestling, taking chair shots for a living and being able to feel some warmth and some comfort with his muscles that are already tensed up. It feels absolutely amazing. I know some other people are going to be like, "Oh my God, I hate my life." Trust me, I'm loving life right now. I'm like Senka from Cool Runnings. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty and let's talk about the boys in blue, the Kansas City Royals. Ladies and gentlemen, well, we talked about this last week. We talked about how we weren't really expecting anything. When we have Jess on the show here very shortly, we will be talking about how the Teal guy, if you will, for KC Current, the fan fanatic, if you will, a close personal friend of mine. We were talking about baseball and how we were talking about how we're not expecting anything. It is late April going into May. I have the This is KC Sports mascot going absolutely bonkers right now. So if you hear a cat mew, he's doing fine. He's just acting a fool, just like his dad. That's the reason why Larry B got me a job. Let's talk about Tuesday, April 22nd. It was 4-3 Kansas City over the Colorado Rockies. When it comes to hits, of course, we can't forget Bobby Witt Jr. with his one hit. And then, as well as Salvi and Furman, we have two from Garcia and three from Waters, of all people. Waters. And then, of course, Isbell. Talk about our overview here. He thinks he wants to be on the show, but then he walks away from me. So he's doing the teasing gimmick right now. I'm going to snag him. I promise you. Sometime on the show, I'm going to put him on the camera, and we all know that when Lucky's on the camera, that means ratings and whatnot. Oh, let's see. Nope, he's going to run away. Okay, let's get back to work. That game was on Tuesday and what have you. Um, Good start. Good start for the boys, especially against Colorado. Colorado has been very tricky in the past when it comes to coming into Kansas City and this and that. I believe Tuesday. No, it was not Tuesday. It was Thursday actually, which was MIAA Day. MIAA, my backyard for my alma mater for over in Pittsburgh, America, the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. Representing. I had some folks from back in the day that were in Kauffman Stadium that were in Kansas City. For those of you in Southeast Kansas who came on by, hello, hi, how are you? You forgot about the greatest of all time. That's okay though, because I had to work. I had to take care of the Kansas City Crazies while y'all were at a baseball game. Thursday, April 24. The Royals again beat Colorado 7-4. That is very exciting, especially with the attendance that was visiting from Southeast Kansas and all over the place, what have you. If my cell phone will actually work here, because we're great with technology when Brandon's on the clock here. Garcia with two hits, Bobby Witt one. You got Salvi with two. Biggio with one, Massey one, Hunter Renfro, one of my favorite guys over in right field, two hits, David Waters, two hits. It was basically just RBIs and whatnot. It was run batted ends. Um, it was a fast paced game, actually, from what I was told from one of the friends of mine that was visiting on in. He was saying it was kind of a fast game. That's always good. We like fast games. We like calm games, but we also like fast games too, especially against a very tough opponent such as Colorado. Going into Friday, the 25th, April 25, Royals start the series against the Houston Astros 2-0. Great way to start. How did the boys do? Well, let's just check them on out here. The big boy, of course, no surprise whatsoever. Bobby Witt Jr. with three hits. Vinny Pascantino with one. Michael Garcia one. India one. Hunter Renfro one. David Waters one. Or excuse me, two hits or what have you. That was basically a very low scoring baseball game, but that's okay. It's baseball. You have 9 innings to do whatever you got to do, and then you get that momentum and go from there. And then Saturday. Let's talk about Saturday here. If I can get my things working out. Again, 2-0. Royals over the Astros. They're leading the series 2-0. However, yesterday was the final of the game series. We are looking at 7-3 Houston over Kansas City. That's perfectly fine. Uh, Honestly, you didn't really, looking at the overview here, you didn't really get anything going until about the third inning from Houston. And then one-on-one with Kansas City and Houston in the fifth inning. Going into the sixth, you had two scored or runs scored by Houston, and then the seventh inning, 1-1. And then finally in the ninth inning, won by Kansas City, but unfortunately, uh, you know, not fast enough, not early enough. 7-3 Houston over Kansas City. When are we going to see the boys in blue again? We are going to see them. That was yesterday. We're going to see them tomorrow at 6:05 against Tampa Bay. That is going to be at 6:05. Obviously, you can watch them on the MLB Network, as well as I'm going to say Bally. Um, uh, Let's go ahead and take a small break here. Let's say hello to some of the people that are watching the show right now. Of course, our workhorse, Taryn Rodriguez. Good afternoon, franchise. Have a great show. Absolutely, Taryn. Thank you so much for the support you've given me throughout the years. Oh, my old buddy from Southeast Kansas, Ed Miller. You may look like Senka, but you look like a Yoder with that beard. You're absolutely right, dude. I even said this to the guy that created this whole station, Larry B. My beard is absolutely insane. It's like I'm a face with a pillow around my face. Like it feels weird. I wish I had this gimmick when I was wrestling because then it maybe would take some of the punches and take the hits and what have you. That's just fun. We like to have fun here, right? Where's Bobby Ganesh? He's underneath the bed with his tail out. I wish I could show you. Here's this bed, and then here's this little tail just wiggling around, so he knows when I'm calling his name, he like pays attention to that. It's really funny. Let's see here. Guys, we talked about social media. We talked about this and that. As you can see from what I had just posted with Ed and with Taryn, get on the socials. Get on this is Casey underscore IESR on the Twitter. And then, of course, at Real Franchise. I have it uploaded, retweeted, whatever the case may be. You are watching this live right now from the YouTube at IE Sports Radio. And then, of course, this is Casey Sports, the show tag. And this is episode 91 at 2:18 at 77.9 degrees in Kansas City. I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. I am going to be taking a little sippy sip from my Diet Coke here. Oh, goodness gracious. What do we feel about baseball so far? We feel great about baseball. I feel very calm about baseball, especially Kansas City Royals. Why do I feel comfortable about the Kansas City Royals right now? Because it's still early. We talked about this 2 weeks ago with Richard Harper, aka the Teal Man, and it's going to be just fine. This is Kansas City Everything Sports, ladies and gentlemen. This is not anything new. For those of you that are brand new to sports in the Kansas City area, simply because, for lack of a better term, the Patrick Mahomes era is when everybody started paying attention. Or if you are diehard, such as myself, and you've been watching since the George Brett era, or even before the George Brett era, you definitely know that Kansas City Anything Sports, this is just what happens. We start out slow, and then we make our big numbers, usually after the All-Star game, and that's when it is ultimately determined if we're going to make it into October or not. That's just how it is, folks. That is Kansas City. Um, that is Kansas City everything. Pooh, yeah. Let's see here. What am I forgetting? Yes. We have to remind everybody, other than being on the Twitter and on the Gram and on the Bookie Face, TikTok, YouTube, IE Sports Radio. Look us on up. Simply because of the fact that we are no longer visual and audio. We are strictly visual now. We said goodbye to the audio. Goodbye, Charlie. Sorry, not sorry. Whatever the case may be. That was a fun time when we started with this whole thing. But now it's just we had to move on to bigger and better things and whatnot. I remember when I first started this show back in the day, back in the COVID days, actually, and we were audio. We were strictly audio. And now look at us. We've moved up in the world, ladies and gentlemen. We have co-hosts, we have guests, we have this and that. It's fun. We like to have fun here. We are going to take a quick break. We are going to bring Jen onto the show, and we are going to be talking about Soccer Nation. What's going on with Sporting KC? What's going on with KC Current? What did she feel about the Teal Man, Richard Harper, that was on the show? I know that she was a avid commenter for that show and whatnot, which I absolutely love, love, love. And let's see what's going on her side and whatnot. I believe she is Mountain Standard Time, so it is 1:21 her time. If I can do my math here, if I could do my geology or geography. See, this is why I got a C plus in geography because I couldn't even pronounce the damn thing. And we're gonna get her on the show. We're gonna be talking about some good stuff here and this and that. So stay tuned, sit tight. We're gonna be right back on This Is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Sit tight. We'll be right back.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
The roar of the crowd, the drama and pageantry, the adrenaline rush and decadence of the world of professional wrestling. Join yours truly, the SoCal Saint, for the best pro wrestling podcast going today, the IE Wrestling Show, exclusively on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Join us every Wednesday from 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, every Wednesday, the IE Wrestling Show. It's just too woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We had to put a little tag in for the SoCal Saint here just because of the fact that I'm very biased and WWE is in Kansas City right now for Monday Night Raw. Your boy's going to have to miss it. That's perfectly fine, though, but I can watch it on the TV, on the television. But that's for a different time and date. I'm sure that he's going to be talking about the show on Wednesday during his time slot. But right now, let's go ahead and get back on the track. Let's talk about Soccer Nation. Let's talk about soccer. But there's nobody else that I would trust when it comes to soccer outside of Teal Guy, Richard Harper, other than this young lady right here. She is the host of Shin Pads and Shenanigans. And I had to do my math here. I had had to figure this out on my own side. You can catch your show on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. However, in translation to Central, that is 11 a.m. right here on IE Sports Radio. Just scroll on by until you find Shin Pads and Shenanigans on the YouTube. And without a shadow of a doubt, without any taking further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you Jess, the host of Shin Pads and Shenanigans. Welcome to your first time on the show, young lady. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I am vertical. It is Monday and I am vertical. After the week that I've had with security dispatch, I am very thankful for
Tech issues, man. Oh, you froze. Oh no, you got frozen.
There we go. There we go. Can we hear?
Yep.
Perfect. We are back. This is what happened last time. It's totally fine. At least I know how to make this really fast and whatnot. Ladies and gentlemen, Jess from Shin Pads and Shenanigans. First and foremost, let's go ahead and advertise where they can find y'all over at shinpad_IESR. Check out all of her tweets and what have you for basically the world of soccer. The world of soccer. So, first and foremost, did you catch? Obviously, stupid question. You did catch the show, but what did you think about having the super fan teal guy Richard Harper on the show a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, it was great to watch you guys interact on the show, and it was really cool.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was fun. Richard is a very charismatic individual. He's very fun. Obviously, he told a little bit. I know a little bit more about it in the context of it, comparable to the audience, but he's very fun. And when he told the story about basically how he wanted to be that positive influence for people and this and that, and then he used that as the character for Teal Guy, and then now he's doing things with, say, United Way and with Sporting Casey, or yes, Casey Current, and basically, being that guy, if you will, for the soccer world in downtown Kansas City. That's just humongous. That's fun. I'm so proud of him just for being a part of it. What have you felt on your side of the turf here, if you will? How soccer has been for basically women in sports in general, not just soccer, but everything.
Are you talking about like in the women's side of the soccer?
Sure.
I mean, I think there's a lot of great changes happening. Like I said on one of my shows, that FIFA's made changes to protect both coaches and players when they go on like maternity leave, and I think that's really amazing. And it's really fun watching the Northern Super League, the new women's Canadian league up there. So that's been really fun. And Kansas City Current, man, they are on fire.
Yeah.
Right now.
Absolutely, they are. Absolutely, they are. Typically, what we do on the show is we take care of the Sporting KC, because Kansas City Current is just such a humongous topic in this area. It's not going to take too long at all. I want to go ahead, and if you had a chance to check out the game, if you didn't, or excuse me, the match, so be it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But as we talked about last week on April 19, Sporting KC beat San Jose 5-3. Now, as of Saturday the 26th, they lose to Cincinnati 2-1. Checking out the stats right here, what we're going to be doing for those of you that are watching at home, we're going left to right, left to right. So we're going to be talking about Sin. We're going to be talking about KC. Sin, KC. So when it comes to shots for a 2-1 win over Sporting KC, we have 15 shots over 11 for Sin. We have 7 shots on target comparable to your 4, 54% in possession comparable to your 46. 533 passes comparable to your 454, 86 pass accuracy comparable to 81%. When it comes to fouls, Sin overlapped Kansas City 8-6, 2 yellow cards for Sin, 1 for Sporting, 0 red cards, 5 offsides versus 2. And then 4 corners versus 5 corners. However, when it was all said and done, Cincinnati beat Sporting KC 2-1. Richard talked about this briefly. Sidebar: the next match is going to be May 4 at 6 p.m. against the LA Galaxy. So, just with what you have possibly got a chance to pay attention to and whatnot, specifically with Sporting KC, I know that we've had some coaching changes. They got rid of their coach after a humongous length amount of time, and then now that we're in the interim coaching staff right now until a permanent coach takes place or whatever the case may be. And Johnny Russell just signed with. I'm gonna have to look that up here. I think they're over in California.
Salt Lake.
Yeah, Salt Lake. Thank you. I saw that this morning, and he was my favorite player. Honestly, if you think about it, if you're into pop culture, he reminded me of DJ's new boyfriend over on a Fuller House. If you think about it, if you put a beard on him, kind of reminds me of that. I was like, that's my dude. That's my dude. But back to topic. What do you think could be a struggle with Sporting KC right now? Do you think there's just a lot of internal drama that's going on that might be distracting them, or do you think they just struggle with their game plan?
I think it might be a little bit of both. I mean, both Johnny Russell and Willie Agata are both going over to Real Salt Lake. So, I mean, they lost two players. And I think they're just trying to, in this massive transition point where it just doesn't feel like they've got things in-house situated, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I definitely know, especially being a diehard Chiefs fan for all my life, when things are happening internally, it definitely takes effect onto the field. Everything just has to be in a straight line, intact, and what have you. When you have something that's a little bit jigged or zigzagged or whatever the case may be, it does cause a scene that affects the on-field performance. But Richard and I do have an agreement that, especially when it comes this early into the season, again, it's the Kansas City curse, or it could be anybody else's curse, but more specifically because of the show, it's the Kansas City curse. We start out slow at the very beginning, and then we warm up, we find that momentum, and then whatever happens afterwards. Sporting was struggling last season. And now this season, with so many changes going on and this and that, they're just going to have to find and rebuild themselves in some form of fashion.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game. It's part of the business. May 4 at 6 p.m. against the LA Galaxy. It's going to be at Children's Mercy. How can you watch that? You don't watch it because we don't air it out in Kansas City. No, I'm completely kidding. You can watch it on ESPN. And definitely what I tell everybody, if you have Apple TV, if you have YouTube TV, you can definitely watch it there. We are going to segue over to the fantastic women of KC Current. Let's see here. It was last week on the 19th. They beat the Houston Dash. Now, surprisingly, on the 20, am I looking at the right score here? Yes, because today is the 28th?
The 28th.
Yes, thank you. The 26th, surprisingly, North Carolina beat the Current on Saturday 3-2. If we are going down the route here, we are going to be doing I'm just going to shorten it down to Carolina versus KC. So we're going to be going left to right for those of you that are watching at home. 12 shots comparable to 13. 7 shots on target for Carolina comparable to 4. 53% possession comparable to 47% possession. 399 passes comparable to 359 passes. 77% pass accuracy comparable to 75%. 11 fouls comparable to 9 fouls. 2 yellow cards comparable to 1. 0 red cards. 0 offsides for North Carolina comparable to 1 offside for KC Current. And then 4 corners comparable to 9 corners for the Current. However, when it's all said and done, 3-2 was the final score of the match. North Carolina beating Kansas City Current. Their next match is Friday, May 2. That's May 2nd against the Seattle Reigns Football Club at 9:30 p.m. We love that, especially for those that work late or whatever the case may be. It's going to be over at Lumen Field. That's the reason why for the time ops. You can watch it off of regular YouTube as well as Paramount. So at least I have something to watch
And the
when I'm at Dispatch
NWSL
this
app.
week. And the NWSL app. Thank you for that. I actually, I was today's years old when the NWSL app was brought to my attention. So thank you for that. So with that being said, what did you get a chance to watch the match? And if you did, what were your thoughts?
I don't think I got a chance to watch that match, but I was very surprised to see that the last team in the league beat them.
Yes.
That was a big shocker to see.
100%. Currently, for those of you that are standing on by, currently right now, KC Current is 5-1, comparable to North Carolina 1-3. So humongous factor here. As you said, that was very surprising. We've seen it before, but it's kind of we don't typically see stuff like this until it's like March Madness with NCAA and what have you. So. Yeah, that was actually pretty surprising. I did get a chance to actually watch the match. I was able to have my phone on, checking out my Twitter feed, and of course, that teal guy, Richard Harper, he was nice enough to give me some play-by-play while he was tweeting and he was attending the game and what have you. Um, and things like this happen. I'm trying to look at the individual stats here to see if anybody was really just struggling and whatnot. And I'm not really seeing much other than the fact of I don't know, like where do you think what do you think happens when you have basically a team that's at the top notch of standings and they lose to a team such as North Carolina? What do you think that does to them internally?
I think it really boosts the morale for Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like a let's go back to the drawing board for KC. They might also just had a bad night too. Couldn't really
Yep.
um, get everything lined up right.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I don't want to say that they're stagnant by any means. I can say that sometimes when you get into a certain rhythm, a comfortable rhythm, without even realizing you're in a comfortable rhythm, sometimes the craziest things have happened. We've seen it, at least on my side, with the Kansas City Chiefs. We've seen it with the Royals. Of course, with the Royals, I don't really put too much onto them. I don't. No offense to them, it's baseball, so it could literally go either way. Um, but when with the constant movement of soccer, um, I don't want to say that they're stagnant. I just think that North Carolina just had a different game set. They were ready. They knew who they were coming up against, and they really had to step up their game. And maybe they were just Casey Current was just comfortable with the game plan that they had, and that's okay, I guess, if it works. But now, since it's been broken, since it's quote unquote for the hardcore fans out there, that's been exposed. They've been exposed to the soccer nation, what have you. They have to come up with a different game plan, maybe a different logic, maybe a different mindset, whatever the case may be. Um, Sidebar. It is really I love this view here because I have the blinds open right now, so it actually shows my face because otherwise, like I'm just like my beard. I kind of blend in. And there are so many joggers out. And I keep forgetting it's 77 degrees. I keep forgetting that we're in great time weather for Kansas City. So if you see me continue looking up, it's because of the fact I don't know if it's the male guy or if it's just joggers. So I apologize for that. Where do you think they can go next week after losing this game to a low ranked team?
Um, yeah, honestly, I don't know. I didn't watch the game, so I can't really say what could have gone wrong.
Sure.
but I definitely think they need to be studying that footage this week.
Absolutely.
And being like, hey, let's figure out what went wrong.
Let's figure out what went wrong, and let's go from there. Seattle currently is 2-2 with 2 wins, 2 losses, and they are seventh ranked right now. Orlando Pride can absolutely dominate with their next win, pending the circumstances and whatnot, with Washington right in third place when it comes to the standings and whatnot. Again, that is May 2 at 9:30. Obviously, the NWSL app, Paramount Plus, YouTube, regular YouTube, not just YouTube TV. I have high hopes for the ladies. I am not worried at all. One loss is not going to succumb their season or their record. It is what it is. It's sports. It's what you're going to do here. You know, it's just another day in the office. We just gotta, continue to. I say we, but they've just got to continue being positive. They got to continue doing their thing that we know that the women over with the KC Current can do, and that's that. That's just that.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Again, this is Jess over with Shin Pads and Shenanigans Saturdays at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's 11 a.m. for the Central Standard Time kids and what have you. You can follow her at shinpad_IESR. I forget, I don't really have to verbalize that anymore because people can actually physically see this. I'm still in audio mode for some reason, but that's okay. That's okay. How about, and is there anybody in the soccer world that you are specifically watching for that's a favorite of yours, just for the general topic, just for people that might not know?
In general, I mean, I'm kind of watching to see which one breaks the winless streak, Montreal or Galaxy.
That's fair.
And you guys play Galaxy this weekend.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I'm going to try to make sure I watch that game.
I was going to say, if my phone is not buzzing on the this is KC account and whatnot, then I know that you might not be watching it face to face. That is just that's fun. That's actually, it's a good little game that some people can play when they're watching soccer or when they're watching any type of sports, what have you. So that's a good deal. We will definitely be keeping our eyes focused on that. Again, Jess with Shin Pad and Shenanigans, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central on Saturdays. You can catch her, as well as go and follow her on the Twitter at shinpad_IESR. I think we're going to take a quick commercial break. Alongside, we're probably going to be talking about a little bit of the bad boys in red, aka the Kansas City Chiefs, and all that fun jazz. You want to stick around for that? Just kind of hear what's going on?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Well, folks, stick around. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Your boy is going to take a sip out of his gallon jug of water. I'm going to see if my mascot, Lucky, is still roaming around the place or if he's finally taken a cat nap, no pun intended. And we will be right back. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
Are you a Tar Heel, Blue Devil, Demon Deacon, or maybe even a Gamecock? Do you cheer for the Panthers, the Canes, the Crown? And check out the Carolina Sports Update every week with me, Neil Curtis, to get the latest and greatest on all the sports action in the Carolinas. We'll be talking pro sports, ACC and SEC football, basketball, baseball, and everything in between. We'll even talk a little Formula One racing now and again. So, for the best hour of Carolina sports coverage, catch me each week on Carolina Sports Update with Neil Curtis, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., and I'm welcoming you to take another lap with the fastest show on IE Sports Radio. Yes, this is the Extra Mile with me and my co-hosts Christopher Lehman and Michael Ward. We talk everything racing from NASCAR to IndyCar to Formula One to limited hydroplanes, endurance racing, the NHRA, and more. So come join us for an hour of great racing talk and a lot of fun as well on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 8 p.m. only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode number 91 of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Myself included, Brandon the Franchise Buck, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world, as well as joining us from the other side of the world. Just kidding. It is Jess from Shin Pads and Shenanigans, our soccer host. Let's see here. Let's go down the list right quick. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Order at planetjerky.net, as well as go to the gram at Planet Jerky. Seal the Deal Wax Seals on the gram. Seal the Deal _wax stamps. And then order at iesportsradio.com. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear, as well as help them on their amazing journey towards mental health research. Follow us on the Twitter and on the gram, on the Bookie Face, TikTok, YouTube at IE Sports Radio. Scroll on by until you find This is KC Sports, or in Jess's case, you find Shin Pads and Shenanigans. Check us on out. You can check us on out every Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can check her out, Shin Pads and Shenanigans, at 10 a.m. or 11 o'clock Central Standard Time on Saturdays. We are talking about the social media. Did not mean to click that. This is KC_IESR, as well as Real Franchise. And then you can follow her at ShinPad_IESR. With what time we have left, we are 10 till. We have great shows that are coming on up. So stay tuned for that. If you happen to be a fan of the area or just want to see some stuff going on outside of Kansas City other than Jess's pod, you got the Carolina Sports Update. That will be at 4 p.m., as well as Chi-Town Weekly, which is at 7 p.m., the Extra Mile as well at 7 p.m., and then, of course, Set Point at 8, which is going to culminate for the broadcasting day with IE Sports Radio. Oh, goodness. Sometimes we overlap when it comes to scheduling, and sometimes we have a great show. We just talk, and then sometimes we get it done within the hour. So here we go here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the NFL draft has culminated as of Thursday. And the number one round, the first round pick at number 31, Josh Simmons from Ohio State. This is supposedly going to be the guy that is going to protect Patrick Mahomes on the left side while he is trying to find somebody open with what wide receivers we have left for the season. Let's see here. Let's just talk a little bit off of ESPN really quick. I'm going to quote a bunch of this stuff because Well, we've got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. We'll try and make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, and we'll just go from there. First and foremost, just to make sure that we don't have any problems here, and I'll explain myself here in a second. Jess, favorite football team?
I mean, I don't really follow the NFL that much. I kind of have to be an Alabama fan because my in-laws are Alabama fans.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair. I was going to say if you were Larry B and you were a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders, we're probably going to have to block you from the show. No, I'm kidding.
if anything,
If
it's the Rams.
yeah, you know what? I'll take it. I'll accept that as the answer. That's okay. Um, for in case you don't know or aren't aware, there's a humongous history between the Raiders and the Chiefs of being just diehard, just hate each other kind of thing. So when Las Vegas and Kansas City take on each other during the football season, me and Larry have a great time just jabbing at each other, and either I take it or he takes it, whatever the case may be. Uh, back to the draft here with Josh Simmons, number 31 out of the first round pick. Coach Andy Reid said that Simmons will be ready to participate when training camp begins in July. That is a great start for that young man. So because the fact the earlier you can start, the better. Pending physicals and all that good jazz, he's not going to have to deal with all the politics and whatnot. So that'll be good. Round two for the number 63 pick, Norman Lott, excuse me. He is going to be defensive tackle out of Tennessee. So that will be another good. We're focusing on basically the line here, is what I'm going to shorten it down to. We have the offensive line, defensive line, what have you. Um, I didn't. I'm just going to say this on camera. I did not get a chance to check out Norman Lott a lot during his college days or what have you. I am happy just at the simple fact of he's going to be an addition to Chris Jones, and with the veterans such as Pennell Jr. and Jerry Tillery on the interior of their defensive line. Norman is more likely to begin the season as a rotational player, as he should be. It's his rookie season, right? He doesn't need to be the star-studded individual that some people believe that we need. He doesn't need that. Ashton Gillott, round three, number 66, defensive end out of Louisville. Um, it was stated, and I quote, the Chiefs have depth on the edge, but not so much the Gillott can't learn some playing time, particularly on passing downs. This is off of ESPN.com, by the way, that I'm kind of paraphrasing, but quoting indirectly. So far, right now, it's looking like the Kansas City Chiefs are focused on the big boys to basically protect and to go in for the momentum for Sack Nation, if you will. Can't just be Chris Jones anymore. We've got to have some other people that are on the line that can help him on out. That was a big thing this last season, the last two seasons actually, when it comes to Kansas City football, because it was always just one person, and then of course the drama with Chris Jones with extending his contract with the agents that I can neither confirm or deny he still talks to anymore, and that was at the beginning of the the Travis relationship, Travis and Taylor. Round three, number 85, Noel Williams, cornerback out of Cal. Of course, right now we have Trent McDuffie at cornerback and signed Christian Fulton in free agency, joined him in the starting lineup. However, uh, he's got to beat Jalen Watson for playing time. That in itself is going to be a headache. If that were me, all of this black that you see, Jess, is going to be instantly white, because that is a lot of dude to try and compete with, especially with Jalen Watson being as a contributing factor to cornerback as we have with the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, so let's just say for the Rams, if you will. I don't know. I don't know how in depth you are when it comes to the players. I will tell you, I'm not one when it comes to stats at all. I just see what I see based on my known football knowledge of playing for a little bit of junior ball and being in the same vicinity as the great Darren Sproles. We went to Olathe North and then to K State and then to the then San Diego Chargers and then the Oh my God, the New Orleans Saints, and then ended his career with the Philadelphia Eagles, being a two-time Super Bowl champion. Um, and just 2000 to 2003 with Olathe, Kansas schools, that was just absolutely asinine and crazy because we were back-to-back state football champs and whatnot. So that's where the uh, the entitlement came in, I guess you could say. But with what you know about football, with what you know about, say, Alabama, say with the Rams, if you will, um, do you happen to notice while maybe watching a football game or whatnot, like there are certain positions that are just absolutely struggling that maybe that during the off season or whatever the case may be, whether it be recruiting for college or whether it be in the draft, maybe they just need to focus on?
I haven't really noticed any like specific positions that they need to work on.
Hmm.
Just that they seem like they're struggling. It's more of an
Absolutely.
overview for American football versus European football.
Sure, sure, 100%. Um, that's something that, they tend ESPN analysis as well as any type of analysis, whether it be amateur, independent, or with contract, they all say the exact same thing. They see one game or they see not progression, and then they go into freak out mode. And then as soon as the player gets on the field, when they're on national television and they actually play great, that's when they're terminology completely switches around and they're like, oh, wow, this guy is great, despite the fact that we were crapping on him like 3 months ago or what have you. I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to explain why. Round four, and for anybody who knows, number 133, wide receiver from Utah State, Jalen Royals. Why is that fun? I'll tell you why. Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to have Kansas City on the front and on the back, Royals. Two birds, one stone. There we go. Inadvertently representing Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals with his last name. It was told by ESPN.com the Chiefs, quote unquote, the Chiefs have already have Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Juju Smith-Schuster as their top four wide receivers. So Royals likely won't get much playing time as a rookie. I can agree to disagree on that. Here's what happens here. We don't know what's going to happen with Rasheed Rice with his legal battles. We don't know what's going to happen with Hollywood Brown, other than the fact that he's just going to raise the bar a little bit for himself. He didn't really have the most receptions with the Super Bowl loss to Philadelphia, all other than two. But I mean, he could do it 10 times better. And I think it was just that rookie season. He's in the big screen right here. The entire world is watching, and that does happen. Um, Juju, he's he's going to be here and there, but when it comes to the top three, it's going to be Worthy, Rice, and Brown. Now, what can Royals do? He's got to really earn his spot. Yeah, he just got signed by the Kansas City Chiefs through the draft, but also in the same sense, he's got to earn a spot. He's going to be the biggest impact in 2025 on special teams, where he might have a chance for kickoff returns. We just lost Miko Hardman. I don't know what the hell we're doing with Sky Moore. I just don't. I'm like with everybody else in Kansas City. But it is what it is. They know what they're doing. I don't. I'm sitting on the couch, or in some cases, I'm sitting behind a desk and I'm monitoring Kansas City and dispatching patrol or police, whatever the case. So I don't know what happens at One Arrowhead Drive. Um, what do you think is the mindset when it comes to basically the business part of the NFL? I mean, that's got to be a lot of work and a lot of knowledge, basically being the owner, the GM, the head coach, everybody in between. I mean, what do you think the office is like?
Intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, real intense, real intense. And mind you, it's not just Kansas City; it's anybody in the NFL. Um, I know that not to jab at him, but I know that Larry is probably wondering like what is going on in Las Vegas with the Raiders and what have you, because their coach verbally stated that they're the team to beat and what have you, and well, look at them, kind of like the Cincinnati Bengals. We're the team to beat, and well, here we are again. So other than the PR that's probably just going AWOL, like, hey, let's just stay away from saying that we're the team to beat and we absolutely just lose this season or in the playoffs and what have you. Um, I could only imagine. Have you ever seen the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner? that is a movie you should probably check out. And the reason why I say that is one, it's a fun movie, but then also in the same sense, there's bits and pieces that kind of give you an idea of what draft day literally might be like. The team that's focused is the Cleveland Browns, but it's just a fun movie to watch because if you're a sports fan, if you're a football fan, American football, whatever the case may be, it kind of gives you an idea. Not maybe not so much like factual facts, but it gives you an idea of what life is like in that office when they're getting ready to make the calls and this and that. So I would suggest that movie for sure. What do you think in general? We've seen such a transition with the NFL when it comes to pop culture, i.e., Travis and Taylor. When it comes to athletes that are just once in a lifetime, such as Patrick Mahomes in this case, specifically for the Chiefs. Um, we're seeing this and that. It's literally like a movie or a storybook with everything that happens behind the scenes in Kansas City, whether it be good, bad, or ugly. Um, for the upcoming 2025 season, do you think that trend is still going to be, for lack of a better term, that trend is still going to be going within the NFL, whether it be in your case, the Rams, in my case, the Chiefs, and in anybody's case, whatever team? Or do you think it's finally just going to settle down and now people are going to be focusing more on just the game?
I think in general, as a society, we are addicted to the drama. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to settle down where people are just going to focus on the game.
Yes,
I think
I
it's going to be
am
all about the drama.
100% in agreement with you. One, I hate to say it, but I'm in agreement simply because the fact that that is literally what's been going on the past couple of seasons, if not longer seasons. Maybe we just haven't, maybe I haven't, but maybe we just haven't paid attention to it because it just wasn't vital or whatnot. We'd hear it from other sports organizations, but we never really heard it in Kansas City up until um, God Almighty. Um, it goes back. It goes back. There's a reason why I dyed my beard is because you see some things with Kansas City. You see some things in the NFL, but you definitely see some things in Kansas City. So anybody who knows, especially during the Matt Smith era, or the Alex Smith era, uh, oh my God, it goes even all the way back to even the Joe Montana era, and we were just all too young to even put two and two together and whatnot. Matt Castle is who I was trying to name, um, and then the Todd Haley coaching era. That'll turn you into an adult fast. Um, Goodness gracious, I'm excited. I'm excited. The hard part's over now. Now we just have to focus on getting ready for June, July. I know that Patrick and Travis are working out hardcore. This is obviously, unless something absolutely crazy happens, this is going to be Travis Kelsey's last season with the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs, which good for him. I'm going to miss him. I think the only other guy that I was actually emotional about was his brother Jason with Philadelphia, because he's a very passionate player, but he's also a great guy. So, I mean, that being said, this is definitely going to be a season. Hopefully, it's a storybook ending, and if it's not, that's just how the cookie cuts. But I mean, it is what it is, and as my mom always used to say, we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it. Absolutely, for sure, for sure. Jess, I am so appreciative that you took the time out of your afternoon, a lucky afternoon, that you had availability time for you to be a part of the show and talk to me about Richard and talk to me about Sporting KC and KC Current and what have you. Jess from Shin Pads and Shenanigans, you can watch her Saturdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on IE Sports Radio off of the YouTube. Just scroll on by until you find Shin Pads and Shenanigans. You can find her on the Twitter at shinpad_IESR. Um, I appreciate the time and whatnot. And whenever you want to talk my ear off about soccer, please do. I'd be more than happy to have you on the show again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely be keeping my eye out for another opportunity to hop on in here.
For sure, for sure. And for those of you who don't know, it was today, um, April 28th, 2025, that Jess and I have visibly met each other for the first time here. There's probably some times in production meetings where Larry's like, okay, so, everything that you're not supposed to do on the air, watch This Is KC Sports with Brandon Buck, because there's a lot of stuff he does you're not supposed to do. At least it was earlier in the years, but we've toned down a little bit. Jess, again, I appreciate you so much. Shin Pad and Shenanigans, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays. You can catch her. There's her gimmick right there, Shin Pad _ IESR. And I appreciate you very much for taking the time out of your day to be a part of the show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Absolutely.
Glad I stopped by.
For sure, for sure. And maybe next time, if you haven't watched in the past, maybe I can grab Lucky and he can say hi to everybody, and you'll just happen to be able to be watching that show while we're doing that.
Maybe one of these days I'll see him.
Maybe one of these days, for sure, for sure. And I'll definitely be catching your show as well. I'll make sure I'll chime in and say hi.
Yeah, you do that.
For sure. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. You have yourself a good one. I appreciate your time.
You too.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. It is 3:08 Central Standard Time, 77 degrees in Kansas City. Oh, what a humid but a very, very relaxing day. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, let's just give it up. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Order at planetjerky.net. Or go to the gram at Planet Jerky, as well as Seal the Deal Wax Seals over at the gram, Seal the Deal _ wax stamps, as well as go to iesportsradio.com / Seal the Deal Wax Seals. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health research. VTLapparel.com. You can definitely check those on out. I believe it was last week that Jess had mentioned that they actually have like hoodies or whatever the case may be. Super comfortable. Check them on out. Follow us on the Twitter and on the gram, Bookie Face, TikTok, YouTube at IE Sports Radio. Scroll on by until you find This Is KC Sports, or in Jess's case, Shin Pads and Shenanigans. We're talking about the socials here. This is KC _ IESR, as well as my personal at Real Franchise. And then, of course, for Miss Jess, Shinpad _ IESR. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, that is going to be it for me. Make sure you follow us if you're not already on This is KC _ IESR. For any and all updates, whether it be Kansas City sports or whether or not we're just going to take the week off, because sometimes Brandon just kind of gets a little bit overbooked, and he just needs to kind of figure out what the hell he's doing with his life. But that's okay, right? We accept that. I'm going to go ahead and end this. I'm going to grab myself another Diet Coke, and I'm going to enjoy myself a Monday before Monday Night Raw in Kansas City at the T-Mobile Center. For those wrestling fans, it is Wednesday with the SoCal Saint with IE Sports Wrestling. So go ahead and support him. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of This is KC Sports. I am the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world, Brandon the Franchise Buck. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. And until next time, I'll catch you down the road.